connected, but I'm less interested in the issues around a Palestinian flag mural and more interested in the conditions of tenement flats and council-owned blocks of flats. Yesterday, the city of Cape Town responded to the mural of a Palestinian flag and some icons which demote Palestinian solidarity. It could have been any flag, could have been any mural, but the city responded with a matter of hours before a mural went up in Lavender Hill, Court. And from my count, there was something like 10 law enforcement vehicles there at the covering up of this particular flag. JP Smith, MACO member for safety and security. Why did the city respond so quickly to the putting up of this, what is a Palestinian flag, but I don't really care what type of image it was. It was a very pretty image of watermelons, which I enjoy. But why did the city respond so quickly to that particular mural, JP?
We've responded with equal speed to others. There was a defacing of and some hate speech, anti-Islamic hate speech that was painted a couple of years ago on the wall in front of the Kramat on the 12 Apostles, near the 12 Apostles. That got painted out or removed within a couple of hours. So where we do have complaints and where the local staff are available, they will go. The graffiti unit, just a couple, it's 2 staff members and a cleaning team. They will respond citywide in response to complaint. And if they are not occupied at that moment, obviously the response is faster. If they're busy with cleaning up graffiti somewhere else, then on the other side of the city, then that is going to wait till the next day. And where the stuff is on public property, whatever it is, whatever the inscription or mark or tag or mural, we will clean it. If it has not gone through the permitting process, which requires the owner of the land or the asset, whichever department that is, whose asset it is, whether it's human settlements or roads, whoever, if they haven't given permission, and it hasn't gotten a permit from the Arts and Culture Department, as the graffiti bylaw of 2009 requires, then it'll be removed. If it's on private property, the owners are given a notice that says this is what the graffiti bylaw says, and you must please proceed to regularize this. In other words, retrospectively go and make that application.
JP, there are 28 signs.
We clean about 27,000 square meters of graffiti. I think we cleaned last year.
But has the city responded with equal gusto to 26, 28 signs, gang tags, sonop, sonaf, other and more unsavory messages? Have they responded to those tags with equal gusto?
Yes, except there's the sheer volume of it. And also whether there are actually complaints from the community. So I often encourage communities to complain about this. The unit basically spends every day cleaning up some part of the city. So they respond starting with major roads and thoroughfares, and then they work their way into communities. So as I said, last year and the year before, we are cleaning in the vicinity of 27,000 square meters of murals or tags, and that includes the gang tagging. I can supply you an endless range of pictures of tags being removed and communities posting pictures of saying, we're glad this has been removed or that's been removed. Many of those are sent to me by neighborhood watchers in that community, but it does require complaint because it is largely complaints driven, because there's just so much that you respond where the complaint is at the time.
JP, just hold on the line. Adele, you're in Lavender Hill. Good morning. Your thoughts on this comment? I understand you live in Court.
Good morning, Lester. Yeah, My hele scenario oor die hele aspek wat gister gebeur het, was die feit dat die city so vinnig gereageer het om 'n harmless mural wat op ons flat geverf was in dat nog eens 'n dag wat die painting op ons mure was, maar ander tye kan die city nie uitkom na ons toe nie. Everyday issues or everyday needs are not met. Ons waslyne, kyk hoe lyk ons waslyne. Ons het nou nog die ligte in ons flekkie. Ons het totally ignored waar ons bly. Ja, oor die vlag, ek kan nie uitvlag nie oor die vlaggie, want dis 48 huise in ons plek. En almal het verskillende gevoelens en die vlag is 'n worldwide issue. Ons plek het nog 'n konsensus gekry daaroor, maar as ek kan as 'n activist en wat elke dag op die grond werk met ons mense, met ons kinders wat honger ly, wat ons 'n feeding scheme het die city nog nooit op vinnig gereageer nie. Tereg het gesê 10 law enforcement vehicles het in Lavender EPW workers het van out of nowhere gekom en in seconds was die na gekyk. So ek kan nie verstaan nie dat also moet gekyk word in as 'n support van die city vir dat kry ons nooit support nie.
Adele, really appreciate your time and contacting us. JP, I know your safety, security events, but if you can give a broad response to Adele there.
I don't think that's fair. You know my feeling about ambush interviews. And the reality is that safety and security is an emergency response unit. We respond urgently to things. Our response is measured sometimes in minutes, other times in hours. It's very hard to defend myself for responding efficiently. That's what I'm being accused of, being efficient in response. So if I was defending myself against a tardy response or non-response, I could understand. But you're complaining about us being efficient. This is a little bit weird, but you can't compare us to human settlements or some other department that has capital budget work that has to be done. Procuring capital budget with what national government has done with procurement processes and how convoluted that is chalk and cheese. It's a different thing for operational staff to respond in response to a complaint. This was a complaints-driven complaint. There was a complaint, we responded. When we arrived on the scene, we explained the provisions of the bylaw. The persons involved agreed that the mural should rather be removed and that they will make application to apply it, which is what we encouraged them to do. The same Sandparks did with the graffiti painted,
and I agree with
the flags painted on the top of Lion's Head.
I agree with the Lion's Head shared natural property. I think should be off limits. Any
well,
form
can I
of,
say the same applies to the block of flats? Remember, it's also a shared asset. If it's important enough, my explanation to people has also been, if it's important enough for you to make a public statement, which in a space that other people share with you, then it's important enough to go through the public participation process required so that those other people who have to share it get to have a view on whether they want it up or not. And that's all that the bylaw does. It requires you to engage your neighbors, to ask consent from them before you do that. That's why that provision exists.
JP Smith, really appreciate it. For the record, was not an ambush. It was someone who got in touch with us and wanted their voice to be heard. You are a public official and you should be ambushed by anyone who comes up to you in the street to ask you about an issue that affects them as a resident of the city of Cape Town.